Hi everyone, I'm Melissa Carruthers from the Severn Sound Environmental Association. Have you ever wondered who a risk management official or inspector are? Stay tuned and I'll tell you more. At a very high level, risk management officials and inspectors are, as some would say, the boots on the ground people who are responsible for the enforcement portion of the Clean Water Act through policies in the local source protection plan. Risk management officials work under the Clean Water Act and the Drinking Water Source Protection Program. The goal of this program is to protect municipal drinking water sources from overuse and contamination, and is the first step in Ontario's multi-barrier approach. For more information into this program, check out our Drinking Water Source Protection Program 101 video. One key point is that the program only applies in specific areas around municipal wells and surface water intakes. These areas are known as vulnerable areas. To become a risk management official, you need to complete training provided by the Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks, specific to the Clean Water Act, and you have to be delegated by a municipality to operate it in that capacity on their behalf. Typically, risk management officials work for the municipality they are delegated from, a different municipality altogether, a source protection authority, or a conservation authority. In the Severn Sound watershed, I am the risk management official and inspector for the towns of Midland and Penetanguishene and townships of Georgian Bay, Severn, Hay, Tiny, Oro-Medonte, and portions of the district municipality of Muskoka. The main duties of a risk management official include determining if activities on the ground would be considered a significant drinking water threat, negotiating risk management plans on existing and future significant drinking water threats to ensure there is no risk to the municipal drinking water supply, issuing notices and orders. This can range from things as simple as you need a risk management plan to ordering things to be done. We provide comments or notices to municipalities for any new development as part of the restricted land use process, and we issue prohibitions when applicable based on policies in the local source protection plan. All of this work is done in accordance with various policies in the local source protection plan. In the Severn Sound watershed, that is the South Georgian Bay Lake Simcoe Source Protection Plan. The policies in the local plan make use of a number of tools. The tools range in their restrictiveness from prohibition to education and outreach. Risk management officials use the risk management plan, prohibition, restricted land use, and education and outreach activity tools the most. You might be wondering, how does a risk management official implement policies in the source protection plan? They use the policy text, tool, and legal effect to direct them in how to implement the policy. This slide is an example of some of the policies. They are all laid out the same, starting with a policy number, followed by the tool. For this example, it is either a RMP, which means risk management plan, or PRO for prohibition, followed by a legal effect. In this case, MC, which means must conform, followed by who is responsible for implementing the policy. Next is if it applies to an existing, future, or both threat, and policy text to provide guidance on minimum requirements moving forward. There are 22 prescribed drinking water threats under the Clean Water Act, which are addressed through the Drinking Water Source Protection Program. 20 of those deal with impacts on water quality, and 2 deal with water quantity. The threats span multiple sectors, such as municipal, industrial, residential, and agricultural, so nobody is really exempt. Before risk management officials can start implementing policies in the source protection plan, they need to determine if a threat on the ground would be a significant drinking water threat. Not only does a threat activity have to be happening in a vulnerable area, it also needs to meet certain criteria. Typically, a risk management official will start with a desktop exercise and review mapping of the property in relation to a vulnerable area and vulnerability score. That is generally followed up by a site visit to gain more information into the type of activity happening on the ground, such as quantity of product being used or stored, and best management practices in place. Based on that information, the risk management official will determine if policies in the source protection plan would apply. It is worth noting that only significant drinking water threats are dealt with in our local source protection plan. The graphic on the slide shows how the location and vulnerability score matters when determining significant drinking water threats. As you can see, the storage of fuel in a specific quantity would be considered a significant threat in an area with a vulnerability score of 10, but not in a 6. If a risk management plan is required, this slide provides a high level of things that would be included. Each risk management official has created their own template. However, the same information should generally be included. Risk management plans are legal documents that are negotiated between the person engaged in an activity and the risk management official, and they lay out mitigative measures and reporting requirements that eliminate the risk of that threat activity to the municipal drinking water supply. As you can see from the slide, risk management plans contain background information about the site and threat activity, such as a description of the property, threat activity, applicable source protection plan policy or policies, and a map. Risk prevention and reduction measures such as industry standards, regulations, best management practices, and policies. Current and planned practices, as well as an implementation schedule for planned practices. They also include a monitoring plan that contains a procedure and schedule for a qualified person to inspect the site, which would be the risk management inspector. Record keeping for chemicals stored and used on the property. A schedule of reporting to the risk management official. Any applicable appendices, and most importantly, signatures to make it binding. Future significant drinking water threats are dealt with through the restricted land use policy, as well as the land use planning policies in the source protection plan. However, the risk management official has a hand to play in the restricted land use planning process. For any future works that require an application or permit through typical municipal planning means, or for changes or alterations to existing works within a vulnerable area, they need approval from the risk management official before they can proceed. This is done through written comments or more formal notices such as a Clean Water Act Section 59 2A notice, which requires a risk management plan to be in place before the application can proceed, or a Section 59 2B notice to proceed, which generally means no policies apply or very minor changes need to be made before the application can proceed. To find out who is the risk management official in your area, speak with your local municipality. Alternatively, if you visit our regional sourcewater website, ourwatershed.ca, you will find a link to an online mapping tool. In there, you can search by property address, and as part of the search results, it will provide you with the name and contact information of the local risk management official. Also, as previously mentioned, I am the risk management official and inspector for the towns of Midland and Penetanguishene, and townships of Georgian Bay, Severn, Tay, Tiny, Oromodonte, and portions of the district municipality of Muskoka. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed learning about the role of the risk management official. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Also, for more information, make sure to check out our website, severnsound.ca, follow us on Instagram at severnsoundea, on Twitter at ssea_ssrep, and make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons below. Bye for now, and remember, a clean glass of water starts long before you turn on the tap.